Hola clase y buenas noches. Today's mini grammar lesson is on estructura 7.4, verbs like gustar, los verbos como gustar. As you look at this, you can see the McDonald's emblem here with the me encanta expression written in Spanish below. We would translate back to English saying, I'm loving it. Notice though that in the expression in Spanish, the word yo, I, for I'm loving it, doesn't show up anywhere in here. Remember, verbs like gustar, the verb gustar itself, doesn't use the personal pronouns. We never say yo gusto, tú gustas. That doesn't make any sense in Spanish. But rather, we use what are the indirect object pronouns me, te, le, nos, and les, and we combine that with the singular form gusta when we have a singular object, or gustan when we have a plural object. In this case, because we're loving McDonald's, me encanta, McDonald's being one thing, me encanta. So, verbs like gustar, before anything else, ante todo. En la lección 2, nosotros aprendimos cómo expresarnos las preferencias con gustar. Ahora vamos a aprender otros verbos que son parecidos a gustar y vamos a poner los ejemplos aquí abajo. First example, me gusta ese shampoo. The English equivalent would be I like that shampoo. But literally we know that that means that shampoo is pleasing to me. Notice the word I is nowhere in the expression. I like that shampoo is the idea we translate, but it literally says that shampoo is pleasing to me. The is pleasing is represented by the singular form gusta. That's why we have is pleasing. But if we look at the next example, ejemplo número 2, ¿te gustaron las clases? We switch to the past tense, but we can see it's the plural past tense for the AR verbs. Did you like the classes? But what it literally means is, were the classes pleasing to you? Did the classes please you? As in examples, we show constructions with gustar do not have a direct equivalent to English. That's to say, we're not using the pronouns I, you, he, she, and our Spanish equivalent. The literal meaning of the construction is to be pleasing to someone, and it requires the use of an indirect object pronoun. So, me, to me, te, to you, le, to him, to her, or to the usted in the formal, nos, a nosotros, to us, or a nosotras, to us, a group of female. Les, to them, both masculine and feminine, or les, a ustedes. In each case, we're not going to be using the yo gusto. It's going to be me gusta or me gustan. So you can see the structure broken down in this diagram where we have the indirect object pronoun me, gusta ese champú. Here, all we would need to do is replace the me with te, le, nos, les, whichever form we'd like, and we could talk about each different person that the shampoo is pleasing to. If we look at the samples from Fotonovela, we can see, ¿te gusta Juan Carlos? She's literally saying here, Juan Carlos is pleasing to you. We would understand it to be the question, you like Juan Carlos. Next, we can see, me gustan los cafés que tienen música en vivo. I like cafes that have live music. Los cafés are pleasing to me. If we look at this diagram here, we can see we have 1, 2, 3 options. If you choose 1, that would be your pronoun, the indirect object. 2 would be the verb form of gustar, and 3 would be our what normally be considered our direct object. In this case, it's actually the subject of the sentence. And we can create ideas like, me gusta la química, me gustan las matemáticas. If we look at box 2, we have 2 options, gusta or gustan in the present tense. So from box 3, if I were to only choose gusta, I'd be limited to the options of la química, el español, and la biología. Why? Because las matemáticas and las ciencias would require gustan for a plural. So, pause the video for just a second and see if you can come up with 3 or 4 examples to say that I like this, or he likes that, or we like these things. Ready? Pause. Great job. Hopefully you came up with expressions like, me gusta la química. Le gustan las ciencias. Nos gusta el español. Remember, it can be somewhat confusing when we say le, for example, le gusta el español. Was I talking about a guy or a girl? So to clarify, I could say, a él le gusta el español. And then I know I'm talking about him. Or, a ella le gusta la química. She likes chemistry. Other verbs in Spanish that have the same structure with gustar are found in the list below. These are a list of some of the more common ones. For example, say these with me. Aburrir, encantar, faltar, fascinar, importar, interesar, molestar, quedar. As you see, some of these words look familiar to things we've already seen in the past. Aburrir, to be bored or to bore, like in the verb structure where we say, yo estoy aburrido. Fascinar, it looks like a cognate to fascinate. Importar, interesar, the same. Molestar, to bother or to annoy. And quedar is the form of to be left over or to fit. For example, you might say, me quedan grandes los pantalones. Me quedan grandes los pantalones. Because pantalones is plural, I'm using quedan. Me quedan grandes los pantalones. The pants fit me large. They're very big. Or you might be saying they are loose. Atención. Faltar expresses what is lacking or missing. For example, me falta una página. I'm missing one page. While quedar expresses how much of something is left. Nos quedan 3 pesos. We only have 3 pesos left. You can see that we're still using both singular and plural structures of the third person to say, 1 page is missing to me, or 3 pesos are left to us. Atención again. Quedar also means to fit. It can be used to tell how something looks on someone. Esos zapatos me quedan bien. These shoes fit me well. Esa camisa te queda muy bien. That shirt looks good on you, or that shirt fits you well. The most commonly used verb forms for gustar similar verbs are the third person singular and plural. Like we can see gusta and gustan highlighted in black. We're going to use the structure like we've seen before, where we have a 1, 2, 3, me, te, le, nos, les. And whether it's singular or plural, here we've added the step of taking present and past tense, and then you can see singular forms and plural forms to create sentences like me encanta la película, or le interesó el concierto. The concert interested him. Nos importan las vacaciones. The vacations are important to us. Or I could say, me importan las vacaciones. The vacation is important to me. We're going to take a moment here and pause the video. I'd like you to go through and see if you can do numbers 1 through 10, selecting the best answer from the 2 choices that are given. Remember, we're looking for what would typically be the object. Is it in the singular or plural tense or form in order to dictate the verb, singular or plural? I'll do the first with you. A ti te los libros. Los libros is plural. Aburren. Go ahead and pause. Try the activity. Great job. Hopefully you came up with these answers. As you can see, the words that are highlighted in green represent things that were plural, and the ones that are highlighted in blue represent those that were singular. If you need to review this further, go ahead and pause the video at this time. If not, continue on. Gustar, then we're seeing that this can express what someone likes or does not like to do. Use an appropriate verb followed by the infinitive. For example, the singular form is used even if there is more than one infinitive. Nos molesta comer a las 9. Les encanta bailar y cantar. This is where it could be somewhat confusing because we see 2 actions taking place, but because these are both infinitives, we're still going to represent it with the singular form. Any other time that you have 2 nouns or 2 ideas following the verb, it would be the plural form here. So I'd like you to pause the video again in just a second and figure out how would you first ask your partner how they feel about each of these courses listed below. And then secondly, how would they answer using one of the verbs we just learned? So for example, if I took psicología, you might ask something like, ¿Te gusta la psicología? And they would probably answer something like, sí, me interesa mucho la psicología. Or, no, me aburre la psicología. Pause the video and see if you can come up with several examples where you ask and answer the question about these courses. Go ahead and pause. Great job. What you hopefully are seeing are some samples that I wrote. These are not the only limited answers you could have had, but they just give you some ideas. I threw in the verb interesa, falta, encanta, so on and so on. Go ahead and pause again if you'd like to review these answers or continue on. As you learned in Lesson 2, in la Lección 2, the construction of a mí, a ti, a usted, or a él is used to clarify or to emphasize who is pleased by something, who is bored by something, who is bothered by something. We can see this structure can also be used with the noun. It doesn't have to be limited to pronouns. You can use this before the indirect object to clarify or emphasize who is pleased. A los turistas les gustó mucho Machu Picchu. If I had left off a los turistas and just said to you, les gustó mucho Machu Picchu, it could be understood they liked, or it could be understood you liked. So we clarify by saying a los turistas, and the letter A is showing up because this is an indirect object pronoun. To them, to them. The same happens over here. A ti te gusta cenar en casa, pero a mí me aburre. You like to eat dinner at home, but I get bored. Atención. Remember that me, M-I with an accent, is me, to distinguish itself from the possessive adjective that you learned, my, me. So, M-I accent, me, M-I no accent, my. So, in a second, I'm going to ask you again to pause the video and try to come up with both roles of modelo, estudiante A y estudiante B. And you can see at the top here, we have expression that says, estoy de acuerdo or no estoy de acuerdo. I agree or I don't agree. So we're going to make statements. I'm going to be estudiante A, and you're going to reply with estudiante B, and then you're going to do both roles. Estudiante A, me interesan las películas de Star Wars. You as estudiante B, estoy de acuerdo. Me encantan esas películas. I agree. I love these films or those films. So these are my thoughts as estudiante A. I'd like for you to come up with your response for estudiante B. Do you agree with my thoughts on these things? If you do, estoy de acuerdo. If not, no estoy de acuerdo. And then why? Are you bored by these things? Are you interested in these things? Do they bother you? Try to use all the verbs that you just saw. Aburrir, faltar, quedar, etc., etc. Again, pause the video until you complete this activity. Great job. Now we're going to go on and ask a couple of other questions. I will actually ask these questions. I like you to pause the video every time after I ask the question and try to formulate a response. Número 1. ¿Qué te aburre hacer los fines de semana? You would pause now and give your response. 2. ¿Cuántas clases te faltan para graduarte de Edison? 3. ¿Te fascinan las estrellas? 4. ¿Qué te encanta hacer en el verano? 5. ¿Te molesta mucho el tráfico? 6. ¿Qué te encanta comer? 7. ¿Qué te aburre leer todo el día? 8. ¿Te quedan bien los zapatos hoy? 9. ¿Qué clase te interesa más? 10. ¿Te molesta cuando llueve en la playa? Now, if you would, please click on the link below that says click here for some more practice. Práctica. When you click on this, it's going to open to a Google form. I'd like you to go through it with your best ability and see what you can do. When you're all done, submit the form and then you can check your answers. Muchísimas gracias y buenas noches.